So you want to know how Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX is. Wow, I didn't realize how insane that name sounded until now. Feels like it probably could have been shortened a bit. Anyway, whether you're wondering how the remake stands up to the older versions, or just curious if it's a game for you, let's check it out. PMDX, see that wasn't hard, follows the story of a pair of Pokemon as they try to uncover the truth behind an ancient legend and natural disasters that are causing all sorts of Pokemon to get lost out in the wild. Earthquakes, storms, everything. The story's pretty lackluster. It's at least coherent and it keeps the plot moving forward, but it's nothing groundbreaking. You'll be saving the world one step at a time as you progress through randomly generated multi-floor dungeons. Every step could be a trap. Hordes of Pokemon lurk around every corner and legendary bosses and treasure await the brave and foolishly persistent. This exploration is wrapped around some traditional Pokemon mechanics, such as recruiting new Pokemon and turn-based combat, mixed with some unique elements such as linked attacks or randomly occurring events. When I said you'll be saving the world one step at a time, I meant it. Every step taken in a dungeon or action is treated like a turn in a turn-based RPG, where you'll use your attacks and items to cut through any opposition while trying to survive the enemy's onslaught on their turn. Since Pokemon is a naturally turn-based franchise, this fits in well with the Mystery Dungeon theme, though your Pokemon battles are certainly more about quantity over quality, and a bunch of the actions have to be changed in order to make up for the three-dimensional plane that you're actually on. Don't be complacent though, it's super easy to find yourself surrounded or dealing with enemies with seemingly unfair advantages. It takes strategy, good Pokemon teams, and careful planning to get through a lot of the game, until you get your rhythm or raise some unbeatable knockout machines. While this challenge can at times feel weighted against you, it strikes a balance with moments of just rolling over enemies at your leisure. The turn-based combat does have some new twists. Now, abilities function similar to the rest of the franchise, granting unique bonuses such as absorbing certain attacks or applying status effects when hit. Each Pokemon can also have a rare quality, which grants unique benefits to your current squad. This can make recruitment easier, increase experience gain, or grant bonuses based on status or positioning. Some make battles easier, some make exploration easier, and it'll be on you to balance which ones you want to bring on any expedition. You can attempt to relearn new rare qualities as well, with gummies at campsites, which additionally boost random stats on your Pokemon. Another change I really enjoy is linked attacks. This allows you to tie anywhere from 2 all the way up to all 4 of your Pokemon skills to a single button, using them in a set sequence anytime you activate it. You can still only learn 4 moves, but by linking skills, you can use them all in a single turn. This does of course mean you'll be burning power points on every skill that is linked together every time you use it, but it does help make short work of the more deadly enemies. Pair a special attack buff with your upcoming special attack, or fully debuff an enemy while buffing all of your allies in a single turn. You can also power up skills by using them consistently or boosting them with vitamins. This power-up is not exclusive to the Pokemon you learn them on, so any Pokemon using a skill that has leveled up or been boosted will reap all the same benefits, making same-type teams very advantageous for learning new power-ups for these skills. As for dungeons themselves, your goal is often to reach either the end or to complete a series of jobs or side quests that often require saving Pokemon or collecting requested items. These quests rank up your rescue team, increasing bag space, available teams, and camp sizes. These quests also reward tons of items or even cause Pokemon to join your efforts. These are the core gameplay loop, and while repetitive, it gives a bit of purpose to your dungeoneering. Sometimes upon defeating the Pokemon in these dungeons, they will ask to join you, and if you have a requisite campsite available, will permanently join your roster upon returning. If you don't have a requisite campsite, they'll still pay you for coming along for the adventure. Your camps fill up pretty quick, but fortunately, the game shares experience gained in normal dungeons with all of your camps, so it's much easier to make tons of different compositions without worrying about having to re-level all of them. You may need to boost their stats with vitamins, but that's a little bit easier than leveling them all individually. There are also dojo tickets, which let you specifically level one Pokemon at the dojo back in town. This experience isn't shared, but it lets you beef up your favorites in a more focused manner. The dungeons have floor traps, random occurrences such as Pokemon houses or monster houses, weather effects, and different terrain types that interact with the Pokemon in different ways, such as lava being traversable by fire Pokemon, but burning anything that walks or flies over it. There are a lot of dungeons in this game, almost overwhelmingly so, but they each contain different Pokemon to recruit as well as powerful foes. These mini-boss Pokemon have much higher stats but much lower recruitment rates. Powerful foes can also be shiny. With the low capture rate, don't be surprised if you're forced to kill a few shinies without getting them to join your team until late in the game when you have more items and rare qualities to help you out. Now these dungeons do certainly get repetitive and you'll quickly know whether this is a game for you or not. But later, many of them come with unique aspects to keep you on your toes, whether that be the types of Pokemon and their skills, or different rules that take place inside of them. Some dungeons had Shedinjas passively flying around. The other wildlife would prey on them, using the experience of victory in battle to trigger stat boosts known as awakenings. Eligible Pokemon also Mega Evolve upon awakening, so navigating a dungeon full of Mega Evolved Gengars and Sableyes is certainly an experience. Enemies can awaken upon defeating your team members too, which can snowball out of control. You can also force awakenings and mega evolutions with certain items, so you can use that power to your advantage and add another level of strategy to consider. Between every set of dungeons, you'll head back to town, sell or store your loot, buy new campsites, accept new jobs, train at the dojo, whatever it is you need to prepare for your next adventure. You can eventually evolve, but only after clearing the game's base story. It's kinda lame that it'll be a good 15 to 20 hours before most casual playthroughs see this ability unlock. Fortunately, the base story is just the beginning of your adventure, as legendary Pokemon in incredibly deep dungeons await your challenge, as well as uncovering the game's true secrets. Now perhaps you fell in battle and are wondering what happens next. Well, if you give up, all of your items and money you hadn't stored in the bank will be lost, and the mission will be considered a failure. You can fortunately rescue yourself or be rescued by other Dungeoneers online. This comes with beefy rewards and lets the rescued team either continue their adventure or abandon it and return to fight another day. It comes with an absolutely asinine password system for those looking to share their codes with friends, but saving people is well worth the efforts for the number of rewards you often get. Just use the rescue ID, don't try the password system. Oh, I almost forgot to mention before I wrapped up the video, there is one thing about dungeoneering I skipped, and that is the stamina system. As you are controlling a Pokemon in a dungeon, it'll get hungry, and if that belly meter at the top reaches 0, you'll start taking damage every turn. Fortunately, it's pretty easy to find or bring food with you in a dungeon in order to make sure this meter doesn't hit 0. You can also swap your party leader in order to use their stamina without using the stamina of the party member that you were just using. Overall, Mystery Dungeon games are a toss-up. Whether it's Pokemon or Final Fantasy, the idea of diving into a bunch of randomly generated dungeons in a constant game loop epitomizes the definition of repetitive and grindy. But with elements such as recruiting new allies, deadly bosses, careful resource management, the Pokemon skin on Mystery Dungeon genre just feels comfortable. You do away with things such as worrying about competitive viability and breeding in exchange for just a good old-fashioned adventure. I'd say if you're a fan of Mystery Dungeon games or dungeon crawlers or grindy RPGs, it's probably worth a pickup. If you're looking for something new and innovative, but you're still kind of curious, maybe wait for a sale, and by now, you'll know if neither of those things apply to you and it's not for you. I enjoyed it though, and I hope you do too. That's going to be a wrap for my quick review of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, PMDX. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for more content on the channel. I will see all of you in the next one, and until then, take care.